Good evening and welcome to the BSR Kia Club Series in association with Club 73 Karting and XL Designs. It's rounds 17 and 18 of the championship and we're here at Road Atlanta on this Sunday evening. Good evening, I'm Paul Smith. Alongside me is Dan Blake as always, and Samuli Kumo is on the cameras. And well, after a dramatic 2 races at Silverstone last week, we have got a championship standings that are, really shaping up now, with Maciej Sakovic taking the lead from Adam Gosling now with 960 points. He's got a 19-point lead over Pete Harrod at the moment. Adam Gosling drops down to third after that pretty disastrous race in the last two races there. John Richardson, fourth, 135 points behind, with Michael Hall down in fifth place with he's 143 points behind Maciej Sakovic. So those five, we would say are still within a shout, but it's the top 3 that you would say are in with the best opportunity of that championship. A little further down, Matt Bunn in 6th with Liam Atkins in 7th. Ben Hackerson in 8th. We've got some news about him and we'll bring to you in a few moments' time. Neil Bamber in 9th place with Philip Johansson just behind him in 10th place. In the team standings, well, it's CQR that's still the top of that championship, and they are 184 points ahead of Fail Race Motorsport. Fail Race Motorsport, they need a good result this time out, with Team Eye Glazing in 3rd place. Club 73, they're in 4th place, with ARF in 5th. Just behind them, Gonbrook Racing, so that's a really tight battle there, with Wright Motorsport there as well. Powerslide Motorsports, Halfbet Racing, Team Superior and Team Mad make up your standings. Well, Dan, we'll bring you into this conversation because we have some big news about Ben Hackerson because of what happened last week.
Yeah, Ben Hackerson's after-race conduct not the best, and the officials have gone down on him very, very hard indeed. He has been banned from this race meeting, so no Ben Hackerson. Also no Chaz Draycott as well this week, so eye glazing down to 1 car. A bit of drama though with the championship top 3. Maciej Sakovic has actually only just entered the session. He's going to have less than 5 minutes to set a qualifying lap, and his rivals are doing rather well at the moment. Pete Harrod on currently provisional pole and Adam Gosling in 4th, so Maciej Sakovic needs to get out and get a lap and be very competitive because his rivals are certainly showing no favours at the moment.
And you look at those championship standings, because especially those top 3, Adam Gosling hasn't won a race this season. Pete Harrod, out of those 3, has won the most races, with Maciej getting the 1 win. So really, who would you say is the man that has the most the best chance really to win this championship?
I think Maciej Sakovic has a lot of experience in the Kia. We've seen him in another series and he's really developing as a driver. I think that his experience is showing. More so, Pete Harrod's doing very well. He's showing consistency and really he's really shown, and so is Adam Gosling. They're drivers we've not really heard of as far as the Kia and iRacing, and they're showing they're very good. But I think Maciej Sakovic's experience would just see him through though, Paul.
And of course he has the experience of being in a championship battle, having won last season's championship by 3,000ths of a second, so in that final race. So he has experience of the pressure of mounting the championship challenge.
Yeah, Maciej Sakovic, as you say, a very good driver in the Kia. He's got the experience, but at the moment he's still not come out on track for qualifying. I don't know if he's got a qualifying penalty. I don't think he has, but with 4.5 minutes to go, he's even extremely fine if he's going to get a lap in.
Well, we're at Road Atlanta here this week, and it's quite a different track from Silverstone, really. You've got the twisty section to start with blind apexes and downhill, uphill, and then you've got a really difficult turn 5 where we could see plenty of action.
Yeah, turn 5 is sort of the corner on Road Atlanta where you see the most trouble. It doesn't matter if it's Skip Barber racing, if it's GTs, anything really. Just turn 5 seems to be the bit that bites the drivers as you come up the hill. Clipping the outside curb is quite a dangerous area because it's obviously off. It's not level, so you can come off that curb, and then when you come back on the track, it can spit you out. And just let you know that Maciej Sakovic just leaving the pits now, so he might get 1 flying lap and maybe 2 if he's lucky.
Absolutely, as we see it, he's just coming out the turn 1 now, so Maciej Sakovic has got to get a warm-up lap in, and then, as you say, 1. It'll be tough to sneak in 2 laps here. There's about 3 minutes 20 left in this qualifying session, so it's going to be tight for him, but you would think a man of experience would do well. Some of the other contenders, Adam Gosling at the moment, currently in 4th place in qualifying. He's currently on a lap, just going around the far end of the circuit, and it seems to be a circuit of two halves. You've got as we've said, we've got the twisty section to start with, where you've got those left, rights, and through the tight corners at the far end of the course at 6 and 7. Then you've got this really long high-speed section where it's just flat out through the right-hand kink and down into the chicane, where we should see plenty of slipstreaming and also plenty of overtaking.
It makes setup for this track extremely hard, because it's like you have to compromise one bit for the other, because they're so different in contrast. You've got the opening sector of a lap with the S-bends, and you've got the hard braking zone uphill, and then you've got the back straight, which is very Silverstone-like. It's very long, and you've got to think that there'll be some drivers who have to compromise setup for one side of the circuit rather than the other, but it's going to be intriguing to see how they do it.
Well, of course, this series is running a fixed setup, so I don't think it'll be more sort of driving style really that they'll have to work on just to make this setup work around here. But yeah, just a quick note about those last two corners. After you come out of that chicane, the right-hander before you drop down, it is a completely blind crest. You cannot see where the road goes, and if you come in without doing any practice, it comes quite as a shock.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those circuits where you can't really pick up and race as such, because you say you've got the blind apexes, and it's a really interesting track. I think some of the drivers particularly like this circuit. It's a driver's circuit. Just having that now, there's some drivers who not usually maybe as high up as they are. Alex Everett doing very well, qualifying in 8th at the moment. Got James Leggett also in the top 10 there. So some drivers who maybe haven't qualified so well in the past, putting in a good showing at the moment. Also Woiva Verke, P7 at the moment provisionally.
James Leggett, of course, race winner last time out, who was involved in that incident on the last lap. He ended up winning that race after leading all the way through. So at the moment, we've got about a minute and 5 left in this qualifying session. And it's Michael Hall currently who is on provisional pole at the moment. Pete Harrod is in 2nd place. He's around the back end of the circuit, coming out of turn 7 at the moment. So he's going down the high-speed straight section. Philip Johansson currently 3rd at the moment, with Adam Gosling 4th, so Adam Gosling just going on to another lap here. But, well, we mentioned it, Magic Sekovic hadn't set a time before. Well, he has now, but he's only in 26th place, so he's really got to pull a lap time out of this one now. He's only got the 1 lap to do it in. It'd be interesting to see whether he does it. Just also to mention, there is a grid penalty as well for Ben Gregory as well, so Team iGlazing not having a good time of it at all. And that was for his incident in the first race with
Alex Bristow.
With Alex Bristow, yeah.
Yeah, just coming out of Copse Corner on the run down towards Beckett. See, I know Sakovic has just aborted this lap. He's gone very wide out of turn 7 onto the grass, and this is a disastrous qualifying for our championship leader currently. He's down in P26 currently, and he's not going to improve on that lap time of a 1:26.5. So maybe, I don't know what his mindset's going to be, because he's going to have to try and get some points, but in a way he's got to think about race 2 as well, and it's not a good position for our championship leaders to be in, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So, well, it's now the final lap of some of these drivers. They've got the checkered flag out. The qualifying session is all but done here, and we're just waiting to see if there's any improvement from any of those other drivers now who are on a lap here. Man who's actually doing quite well today, Alex Bristow, is up in 7th place at the moment in qualifying. He's currently getting a draft from his teammate ahead of him. That is Michael Hall. Michael Hall, of course, is in provisional pole at the moment, but providing his teammate a draft, and that's showing good teamwork, and it shows that good teamwork can really work out for you, and I think that maybe shows why CQR are at the top at the moment.
Exactly, CQR, shall I say, are a very close-knit unit. We see them not only on PC, they do a lot of Xbox racing as well, and the CQR drivers know how to work as a team, although at Silverstone, two of them got disqualified, taking each other out if I remember rightly. They'll gloss over that pretty quickly, but yeah, I think that CQR are some of the better, well, definitely one of the better teams in the series in terms of how they do their teamwork, and Alex Bristow to P5 as a result of that draft. So good drafting for CQR, puts these 2 cars in the top 5 and all 3 in the top 6.
Absolutely. So as the last of the drivers go across the line there, we're able to bring you the qualifying results here, and it's Michael Hall. He's on pole position for this race with a 1:24.5 lap there. 1/10 of a second, or just under 1/10 of a second ahead of Pete Harrod, one of the championship rivals, the man who's in second place in the championship at the moment. He is in second. Philip Johansson third, with Adam Gosling in fourth. On the third row of the grid, it is Alex Bristow and Matt Bunn, with Liam Atkins and John Richardson in eighth. Roy Ververke, he slipped down to ninth place on qualifying, with Alex Everett in 10th place. And well, the rest of the cars through. Ben Gregory, well, he did qualify, but I think he's got a back of grid for race 2, isn't it, that he's got that for? So he's in 12th place, so not the best day, but certainly not the best day for the championship leader at the moment. 26th place for Maciej Sakovic. He's got a lot of drivers to try and work his way through there.
Yeah, 29 car grid, so he's very, very near at the back. The only cars slower are Christopher Sherburn, Neil Rocks and Michael Jones, so Maciej Sakovic has a big uphill task, but we've seen throughout the season that he's been able to keep out of trouble on the whole and be consistent, so I wouldn't surprise me to see him in the top 10-12 by the end of this race, but he definitely needs a big score with Pete Harrod and Adam Gosling so far up on the grid at the moment.
And well, the grid here, there's cars going around the final corner there, so this could cause a little bit of issues towards the back of the grid if not everybody behaves. But anyway, we're just waiting for the last few of the cars to grid up here. And well, Road Atlanta, we saw it in the BSR TC Pro Series last season. It always produces some exciting racing, and this should be no exception.
Oh, this BSR Club Series has been fantastic so far, and Road Atlanta, another track a bit like Silverstone, which is a very overtaking friendly track, shall we say. There's quite a few opportunities, and the slipstream out back straight I think is going to prove quite key, so that's something to watch. But the race is going to start very shortly.
So yeah, Michael Hall there on pole position. We're just waiting for the clock to tick down for everybody to get onto the grid, and in fact we are ready now. So the drivers will be looking up at that gantry, they'll be looking for those lights. The lights will turn red and we're all set here for 20 minutes around Road Atlanta. The green light is on and away goes the drivers. A good start from Michael Hall there. Pete Harrod getting a good start as well. There was a slow starter further back, and that was Liam Atkins. He was quite slow away from the grid. Can everybody get through on the first corner? It's really turn 2 where you get the most of the issues with that blind apex, but everybody's so far behind. There is a
couple of cars off the crash.
And well, that's Ian Roskell. Oh, Ian Roskell really not having the best of luck so far in the second half of the season, but everybody so far, apart from him and one of the Club 73 cars, able to get through so far and cleanly at the start.
Yeah, also the driver lost a lot of time at the start was Alex Bristow. He got a very poor launch, and I think he's lost about 6 or 7 places right down the pack, but it's Michael Hall, Pete Harrod, Philip Johansson and Adam Gosling currently in the top 4, and it was one of the Club 73 cars that we saw. I think it was the car of Sam Reed, so Sam Reed lost some time there, but he's not quite at the back.
Michael Hall now, he's in the worst position here because he's giving everybody a slipstream down this long straight, and it's Pete Harrod who's going to be the first one to line up to try and overtake. He's going to look to the inside towards the chicane now. There's Philip Johansson looking around the outside, but Pete Harrod down the inside there into the chicane. Michael Hall just letting him through there, and well, getting the better exit out the chicane though, and he's going to go down the inside, take that lead back again. So good work from Michael Hall to work it to his advantage.
Yeah, I think when Pete Harrod went a little bit, you saw him go deep on the brakes, he knew that he would be compromised, and Michael Hall very opportunistic there to take the position back. But Adam Gosling is trying to challenge here Philip Johansson. Philip Johansson didn't race last week, so welcome back for him. But also behind them is Matthew Bunn going down the inside of one of our championship rivals, which is Adam Gosling, and not far behind them is Maciej Sakowic's teammate Liam Atkins.
Liam Atkins trying to score some good points for the fail race team, and well, Matt Bunn, he's trying to get in with Adam Gosling to try and affect his championship run as well. But it's currently Michael Hall out the front with Pete Harrod in second, Philip Johansson in third. As we say, Gosling and Bunn close together with Liam Atkins. John Richardson right behind there as well. And well, it's just a huge queue of cars right back to, I would say, about Ben Gregory. There's this huge queue of cars, and well, nobody's getting away from anybody at the moment.
No, and as I said before, the slipstream effect of this straight means it is very hard to get away. I think there could be a move for third place though, because Adam Gosling getting ever closer to the back end of the car, Philip Johansson. And a quick update on Maciej Sakovic, he crossed the line that first lap in 21st place and 26, so he gained 5 there.
Out that chicane they go again. And well, everybody just it's only been 3 minutes of this race already, so drivers just settling into it. This is the start of lap 3, and these drivers now heading towards the start and the first corner, should I say. And well, we've got some action further back. Tristan Bodis, he appears to have a slowdown penalty here, so he's dropping back down the order a little bit there for Tristan, but still action all the way through this field at the moment, Dan.
Yeah, Perry Warburton also fighting the car
Tristan
fiercely.
Bodis going straight on at turn 2, actually, cutting right across the track, so he's having some major issues here.
Yeah, unfortunate there for the car of Tristan Bodis, and he doesn't seem to have much luck, but Perry Warburton's now lost it going into turn 5, very well not to hit the wall. He's going to cross the grass on the inside, that'd be a slowdown, but it's going to be another easy position there for Magic Sakovic, but Perry Warburton's been having some problems this lap, and that slowdown is going to cost him a lot of time and places.
So yeah, he's still having to give up places there. Sam Reed is down the inside of him at the moment, so he's going to go down the inside there, and through he goes now to Sam. But yeah, it's still these front 4 are slowly breaking away from Matt Bunn, I'd say, because Liam Atkins battling away with Matt Bunn at the moment, but behind them, Roy Ververke, he's quite close to John Richardson. He's also got Alex Everett, who's been, as we were saying, been rather impressive since he joined the championship, and he's in 9th place at the moment, and they've got Alec Bristow behind them as well. So this is a little group of cars at the moment together, all battling away, but nobody really making many moves at the moment.
No, but Pete Harris looking extremely racy on the back of Michael Hall as he came through to that right-hander to go downhill. Pete Harrod on the outside, he wasn't making a move, but he was letting Michael Hall know he was there, and you've got to wonder if his top 4 work together for a couple of laps to pull a gap, then fight. It might be a bit more beneficial, because if they fight, they're going to allow that second pack to catch back up again. So the tactics of these top 4 drivers could be interesting, but Pete Harrod certainly looks like he's not going to stop fighting, because he's now right on the back of Michael Hall as they go towards the back straight.
So yeah, out this right-hander, it's a tight second gear right-hander. It's important to get a good exit through there to be able to get on the power early and to carry that speed all the way down the straight, and that's certainly what Pete Harrod is doing. He's right in the slipstream at the moment. Michael Hall is making him go to the inside through this right-hand kink, but of course that's going to mean he's on the outside going into the chicane here. It's a left-right chicane here. Michael Hall holding that inside line, maybe will run a little bit deep there. He has, and Philip Johansson, he's going to look down the inside of Pete Harrod now, but just not able to get alongside at the moment, and these 4 still battling away, but nobody able to make that move at the moment stick.
No, Matthew Bunn is catching them up a bit as well, so they have to be a little bit careful. They're still racing very fiercely, and Michael Hall did well there that he didn't do what we saw Pete Harrod do on that opening lap, where he broke down the inside later and was compromised right down to the first corner race. He lost the momentum, but I'll go back to you, Paul, for some
real
action.
battle for 17th place. Stuart Atkinson and James Leggett battling away over the position. Magic Sakovic is in with this battle as well. Have been going side by side. There's cars side by side behind as well. Oh, contact with Magic Sakovic and James Leggett, and well, that is Sakovic through rather forcibly, but Leggett, the instant party there, and somebody's blown out the engine.
Andrew Woodhouse has blown his engine, and he was hit by one of the Warburtons. I think that was Ben Warburton, yeah, it was, and it looks like Andrew Woodhouse race has gone up in smoke, quite literally.
That's a disaster for our Apex Racing TV colleague Andrew Woodhouse, but that's gained all these drivers enough a position. Magic Sakovic just running a little bit wide out that corner, and they've got quite a gap there. It's 4 seconds from 15th to 14th now, so Sakovic, he doesn't have the slipstream, but every single one of these cars behind him now does.
Yeah, and out front the battle was as fierce as ever. You've got Michael Hall, Pete Harrod, Johansson and Adam Gosling, and behind Liam Atkins and Matthew Bunn have slowed themselves down, because Atkins was very, very fierce going into that downhill corner, and it's sort of slowed them all down. But Michael Hall also slowing down the top 4, because he slowed down a bit earlier going into turn 1 than maybe he has on previous laps. I don't know if he's trying to back the pack up, I wouldn't have thought so, but it's these top 4. Then you got that second group behind of Matthew Bunn,
John Richardson as well.
John Richardson, Liam Atkins, yeah, and also Roy Ververke and Alex Everett not too far, and Alex Bristow recovering from his poor start. So I think you've really got a group of 4 and a group of 5, because there's a little bit of a gap back then to Clinton Bell and Ben Gregory, and only Igley is an entry this week.
So yeah, into the tight corners before the long straight, and it's still Michael Hall in the lead, Pete Harrod in second, Philip Johansson third, but Adam Gosling, contacts Liam Atkins with Matt Bunn. Matt Bunn's been half spun, and that's going to slow them all down. Liam Atkins and Matt Bunn have lost a couple of positions there because John Richardson and Roy Verke have gone through. Alex Everett's made it past Liam Atkins, and Alex Bristow, Bunn's teammate, is going to go down the inside of Liam Atkins now, but Everett is looking at the back of Matt Bunn now. He's going to try and make up another position here. Roy Verke is trying to look down the inside, and Alex Everett very late on the brakes, having to take avoiding action to not hit Roy Verke, and that slowed Verke up, and he's going to be, it's close through the downhill section here, round the final corner, but at the moment it's still Matt Bunn. He's down in 8th place, and Liam Atkins is right onto the back of him again.
Yeah, that's because the car of Matthew Bunn had to slow down, put the brakes on going into the last corner to avoid contact, and that's going to cost him a position here as well, because Atkins is alongside and he's going to make it through by the time they reach the braking point. I think they both brake, and there was a little bit of contact door to door, a bit of door bang in there, and that's not done Matthew Bunn any good because it's backed him up into Alex Bristow, but Liam Atkins makes the position up.
Pete Harrod still fighting away with Michael Hall. Michael Hall is not getting away with this one, and in fact Matt Bunn, has he just been disqualified from the race?
I think so. He's disappeared on my timing screen, so I think Matthew Bunn's race has ended very, very soon, unfortunately for him, and it's not the first disqualification he's had this season, but the top four now have definitely pulled away at the front of the field, and it's them who are going to be fighting for the lead, I think.
3.5 seconds Adam Gosling has over John Richardson at the moment, and they're pulling away from him down the straight here because they've got the draft. Pete Harrod once again looking to the outside. He's trying to make Michael Hall take the tighter line to try and get the run out of the chicane. Michael Hall backing up Pete Harrod though, taking the apex there, and Johansson, once again Philip Johansson, trying to look down the inside of Pete Harrod. Of course, 3 of these 4 drivers are battling it out for a championship position, but you would have to say it's Pete Harrod who's in the stronger position at the moment as regards to the championship.
Yeah, Pete Harrod has a gap over Adam Gosling, because obviously Gosling had a very poor first race at Silverstone last time. The gap between those two is just over 31 points, so the advantage Pete Harrod, he's got to pull a few more out on Adam Gosling, so any points he can gain on Gosling quite important, because Magic Sakowicz not making too much progress, although he's up to P14 at the moment, so I said he might get to the top 10-12, but he has a big 5-second gap now between the 2 cars in front of him, which are Max Wright and Jim Flanagan having a good races there as well for Team Mad in P12.
Yeah, Jim Flanagan doing a fantastic job considering the bad luck that team seems to have every week, but this front 4 still battling away. There's a bumper to bumper coming out of that turn 7, the right hander there onto the back straight, and this surely has got to be Pete Harrod's best opportunity. This is the closest he's been to Michael Hall. He pulls out that slipstream now, maybe just a little bit too early, but now down the inside Philip Johansson's following him through as well, and Michael Hall is having to go defensive. Pete Harrod just in front there, but Hall late, very late on the brakes, in fact too late on the brakes. It all slows up for them here. Philip Johansson's been boxed in, he's got nowhere to go, and this is giving John Richardson a chance to close up this battle.
Yeah, John Richardson quite a way back though, so they're battling quite fiercely though, so you never know.
Harrod's going for it.
Yeah, Pete Harrod going to try and go down the inside. I think he's losing a little bit of patience here with Michael Hall, but Johansson and Gosling also fighting hard. I think Adam Gosling here might have a run on Philip Johansson.
Well, it is a right-hander coming up, but Johansson holds the line there. But as you say, these 4 drivers, are slowing each other up with these battles, and that's allowing John Richardson to catch up. John Richardson, he's got a battle with Roy Verke, so Roy Verke up to 6th place. Good stuff from him, starting in 9th place. But we're just concentrating on this lead battle at the moment because there is so many championship implications here, and Pete Harrod trying to get the better run out through that right-hander, just can't seem to get past Michael Hall at the places where he needs to get past him, and when he does try down the straight and into the chicane, Michael Hall's able to defend it.
Yeah, Michael Hall defending very well, but we saw in the Pro Series him going 3 wide down this back straight, so a bit later on in the race we could see get it even more frantic, but Pete Harrod again going down the inside, but it sees him on the outside for the end section here.
Yes, into the chicane here. Pete Harrod has got that wide line, but if he's able to stick it side by side, he's got the inside line, and he's gone and taken that position. Philip Johansson is going to follow him through past Michael Hall. Michael Hall's lost 2 places in 1 chicane. Adam Gosling's going to have a look down the inside as well to try and take advantage. And, well, Michael Hall, in the space of 3 corners, has lost 2 positions.
Pete Harrod did that very well. They're going door to door there, Johansson and Michael Hall, but Pete Harrod did very well there because he pushed Michael Hall wide, and that gave an open door for Johansson. And Johansson, a little bit of contact there with Michael Hall. I think now they're door to door, and this is just what Pete Harrod wants, because if he can pull away about a second and a half, he'll drop the slipstream. And I think Michael Hall and Johansson are a bit too preoccupied with each other. They're going to sort it out though, just in time to get to turn 5. But John Richardson right on the back of these 3 now.
Yeah, absolutely. So John Richardson's going to start picking up that slipstream. Michael Hall's going to look to the outside into turn 6 here. Around the outside he goes, but he can't really... Well, he's trying to hold it out there, but it's going to give him the better run onto that long straight section. And Philip Johansson wide and slow on the exit there. That's going to leave him open to a challenge from Adam Gosling behind, as Michael Hall has made his way up to 2nd place. But already 2-second gap between Pete Harrod and Michael Hall. That just shows all this fighting has done, as Adam Gosling is going down the inside of Philip Johansson.
Yeah, Philip Johansson had the inside though for the chicane. He's going to try and outbrake Michael Hall as well. Very late on the brakes. Adam Gosling has to slam on. That's now John Richardson. And is that Roy Ververke? I think you'll find it is. Yeah, it is Roy Ververke right on the back of this now. And Pete Harrod is rubbing his hands with glee. We said he was getting a little bit impatient, but now he's been able to break free. I think it's pretty much his race to lose now.
Just looking a little bit back as well, Clinton Bell and Ben Gregory, well, he's not quite able to hold it down the inside, but will they be able to sort themselves out into the next right-hander? The answer is yes. They just like Bristow, who's got Ben Gregory right behind him on his bumper, looking to the inside into turning through. Magic Sakovic is to within 1 second of Jim Flanagan, so Sakovic doing a fantastic job closing up that 5-second gap to Flanagan. He can maybe make up a couple of places with Max Wright and Jim Flanagan.
And there's a great racing straight into the wall behind. That was a hard impact, and that is the end of the race for that driver. Chris Sherburn not having the best of races. I think he's already had 1 incident, and that's going to be a 2nd one, unfortunately, for Chris Sherburn. But in that battle between Wright and Flanagan, they have switched places. Jim Flanagan was ahead of Max Wright, so Max Wright up to 12th place, far behind them. Jim
Flanagan, though, in the slipstream now. He's looking to try and make the sort of moves that we've been seeing up at the front, the lead battle.
But they've both got a very hungry challenge
at the moment. We've got 4 minutes left in this race as Flanagan going to the outside into the chicane here. Max Wright trying to hold that inside line, but leaves a bit of space there, and Flanagan is through around the outside, and Sakovic now is trying to catch up and trying to gain at least 2 more positions.
Yeah, I said before the race that Magic Sakovic might get himself to 10th or 12th, and he might actually get 12th place. Flanagan, though, 2 wheels on the grass, that's going to slow some momentum down going into turn 1. But at the front, as you say, things started to slow down a little bit here. Pete Harrod, though, and Michael Hall starting to pull clear from that 4-car battle behind. Got Philip Johansson under intense pressure from Adam Gosling, but he's got John Richardson and Roy Ververke also in attendance. But John Richardson has got a good run coming out of turn 5, so this 3-car battle could be one to watch.
Ben Gregory has made it past Alec Bristow on that lap, so he's up to 10th place. Alex Everett and Liam Atkins, they've been battling it out as well, but they've stayed clear. But as you say, Philip Johansson just holding up this gaggle of cars at the moment. 4 cars in total in this pack, and Philip Johansson is at the lead of it. Michael Hall has caught up about 7/10 of a second in the last lap on Pete Harrod, well, 5/10 of a second on that particular last lap, so battle for the lead not over. And Adam Gosling looking to the outside of Philip Johansson into the chicane once again, and Gosling, well, he's following Pete Harrod's trick there, holding it around the outside to get the inside line for the next 2 corners, and that's him through up into 3rd place.
Yeah, crucial points have been picked up here by Adam Gosling, one of the championship contenders, but Philip Johansson right on the boot lid of that Kia Optima, and as they go towards turn 1, He's just about going to hold a position. We got just over 2 minutes to go, so I think there'll be 2 more laps here at this Road Atlanta circuit to sort out these battles.
Oh, contact between Jim Flanagan and Max Wright, and that's allowing Magic Sakovic past Wright, and he's going to have a look down the inside of Flanagan, but not going to make it through into turn 1. But yeah, coming out the final corner, they were side by side and door to door, and contact was made.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple of times, the cars going door to door in this race, and there's not been too much damage done. Neither Jim Flanagan or Max Wright that they got too much damage from that. It's good old touring car style racing, but Flanagan apparently has Magic Sakovic behind him, and the Magic Sakovic has caught them up very quickly, and Jim Flanagan, you've got to think, is going to have the fight of his life. He's going to keep our championship leader behind him, but Flanagan and Max Wright have had a good battle throughout the rest of the race though, so that's something positive for Team Mad, who, as you say, they have had some horrific luck this season.
Liam Atkins was wide through between 6 and 7, but he's now onto the back of Alex Everett, going side by side down towards the chicane. Now they go, and they've got Clinton Bell behind them at the moment, and Liam Atkins is going deep into that chicane. He's going to be slow on the exit there. He's got to hold that inside line off of Alex Everett, and Alex Everett not able to get alongside at the moment, so Liam Atkins doing a good job there to get back ahead of Alex Everett. But Clinton Bell, he's looking busy now. He's wanted to get involved in that with about a minute left in this race, and the leader's going into the first turn, so we may be just on the final lap. It may be a bit close with this one. We'll have to wait and see as they get towards the end of the lap, but at the moment that battle, Adam Gosling has just pulled away a little bit from Philip Johansson now, so maybe Gosling able to look after his tyres a little bit more earlier in the race, and Gosling is now suffering. He's got John Richardson behind.
Yeah, that battle for what is currently 4th place between Johansson and Richardson and Baverke, and I think you're right, Paul, this will be the final lap because there was 1 minute and 19 left when they crossed the line. The lap's taking 1 minute and 25. Michael Hall went very wide coming out of turn 5, took a lot of grass, and that slowed down any momentum he had, so I think Pete Harrod will take victory here. I'm pretty sure this will be their final lap as they come down the back straight. But that battle for 4th place still nowhere near being solved because we've got Richardson right on the back here, Philip Johansson.
He's just not close enough though to be able to make the move down towards the chicane as the clock is ticking down towards the 0 mark, and well, they're coming out the final corner now, and this is going to be the checkered flag this time by, and it's going to be Pete Harrod who will come through the final corner and see the checkered flag being waved, and that is another victory for Pete Harrod in the BSR Kia Club Series, ahead of Michael Hall, who finishes in 2nd place. Adam Gosling, good position for his championship to get him back onto form in 4th place, with Philip Johansson just finishing ahead of John Richardson 4th and 5th. Roy Ververke, good result for him in 6th place after starting 9th on the grid. Liam Atkins started 7th and finished 7th in that race, and with Clinton Bell in 8th, able to get ahead of Alex Everett on that last lap. Ben Gregory in 10th, with Alex Bristow in 11th. Jim Flanagan able to bring the car home in 12th place, with Majek Sakovic able to make it up to 13th place. Max Wright 14th, with James Leggett in 15th. Sam Reed in 16th, with Ben Warburton, who was a little bit involved in a few things there earlier in the race, in 17th. Neil Bamber and Neil Rocks there 18th, 19th, with Trevor Blackburn finishing in 20th place, so it's always good to see Trevor finishing in the points. Stuart Atkinson 21st, with Dave Crozier in 22nd place. Perry Warburton finished a bit off there in 23rd, and Michael Jones, Michael Jones goes across the line, so Perry Warburton is actually stopped before the end of the race, I believe. Ian Roskell coming across now through the final corner. He's going to be the last of the runners going through this final corner. He's going to finish 24th, and he's the last car on the lead lap, so he's going to be our pole position sitter. And we've seen earlier in the season, Ian Roskell seems to have a bit of pace earlier on this season, so we could possibly see a win from him. But yeah, Perry Warburton 25th, a lap down. Tristan Bodis 26th, a lap down. We saw him having a few issues at the start there. Chris Sherburn we saw going off as well in 27th place. Matt Bunn getting disqualified in 28th, and in 29th and last place, Andrew Woodhouse blowing his engine and going out of this race. Well, an exciting race, plenty of action in that, and another good win for Pete Harrod there. Yet another win in his championship run.
Yeah, Pete Harrod taking full advantage of Magic Sagarets not qualifying very well and then not having a great race in 13th. So Pete Harrod taking victory. Adam Gosling also picking up some big points there in third place. And Perry Warburton, very, very unlucky. He got disqualified on the grass just before crossing the line. He came wide out the last corner, clipped the grass. That must have been his final incident point, and he got disqualified just before crossing the line. So very unfortunate there for Perry Warburton in the Warburton car.
That's really unfortunate there for Perry Warburton to get disqualified so close to the finish line. Yeah, it's Pete Harrod's 4th win of the season there for him today, and well, it was a good run there, and a fantastic way to make his way through on Michael Hull. Put the pressure on him lap after lap, and then eventually it told in the end.
Yeah, Pete Harrod did a fantastic move on Michael Hall, and as I said before, they were slowing each other down, and Pete Harrod was just able to pull away that 2-second gap, and that was crucial because towards the end of the race, the CQR driver Michael Hall, race 1 specialist, tried to get the lead back on Pete Harrod, got it down to under half a second, but Pete Harrod got his head down and pulled away when he had to, when Michael Hall, Gosling and Johansson were all fighting it out amongst themselves, and that move from Pete Harrod won him the race, that's for sure, because he's able to push Michael Hall wide, not just so he could get past, but so Philip Johansson could go past as well. So Michael Hall had to get past the Club 73 driver before he could go back for Pete Harrod, and that was a very good drive from Pete Harrod, and it ultimately won him the race.
Interesting to see Philip Johansson with the fastest lap of the race as well, so that draft earlier on in the race really helped them out there. But yes, fantastic result from Pete Harrod, Michael Hull and Adam Gosling, your podium finishers here in round 17 of the BSR Kia Club Series here at Atlanta. And what we're going to do is just going to step aside for a couple of moments while we get ready for the second race of the evening. And of course, the BSR Kia Club Series is brought to you in association with Club 73 Karting and XL Designs here live on Apex Racing TV. We'll be right back for these messages.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
in the outside, contact made, 56 slides it at a 4, who's gonna be at the stripe, dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's gonna be into stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Welcome back to the BSR Kia Club Series in association with Club 73 Karting and XL Designs here live on Apex Racing TV. We've had the first race of the evening, we've now got round 18 coming up here, and well, with just 3 rounds of the championship left, the championship is getting closer and closer. And Dan, just looking at the championship standings, only 10 points between Maciej Sakovic and Adam Gosling in first and second, with Pete Harrod 29 points behind Maciej there. Oh, in fact, I know it's updating as I speak, and it's still updating, so we'll let that finish updating there, but certainly it's getting close at the front there. Plenty of action going on in the championship, and that first race has really helped out the likes of Pete Harrod.
Yeah, Pete Harrod has had a fantastic race. He won that one with 3 races to go, including this one. This is when it really matters, getting the points on. And I think we got, on the latest update I have, Pete Harrod is actually taking the lead in the championship, I believe, by 6 points to Maciej Sakovic. Adam Gosling only 41 behind as well. So Michael Hall 129 behind. He's got an outside chance, but it's really between Harrod, Sakovic and Gosling, I think, for this BSR Club Series title, Season 2.
Absolutely, and well, it's going to be interesting how this goes, because out of those 3 drivers, you've got Pete Harrod and Adam Gosling both starting near the back of the field in this race, and Maciej Sakovic is going to be around mid-pack, isn't he, for the start of this race? And we've seen how it isn't the easiest track to make masses of ground. I mean, Maciej made it up to 14th from 26, so only 12 positions made up there. So you need to get those moves done early in the race before there's any splits in the pack.
Oh yeah, exactly. When they're all together, that's when the best chance is to get these places. And Maciej Sakovic, he had a problem with an alarm clock, so yeah, I think his alarm clock may come to help him a little bit. He's a little bit closer to the front in this field, but he's lost his championship lead. But I'm pretty confident that he's got the cars between him at the start of the race, where if he can just stay out of trouble like he has done the majority of this season, that he will have the advantage again by the time we're finished the 20 minutes of racing.
So drivers just doing their warm-up practice before the get ready for this second race of the evening. And well, you know, we have got Ian Roskell, who'll be starting on pole position, and we've seen him have some good strong results early in the season, so he's had a little bit of a drop-off, but he is a race winner in this championship. Would you say that he'd possibly be a favourite for this one?
I think it was Monza. I think we saw Ian Roskell take a victory, and I think that Ian Roskell, he's not been, obviously the first half of the season he did well, but the second half seems to have dropped off a little bit, and this could be a chance for him to put on a resurgence ahead of our last meeting of the season. And Ian Roskell is a race winner, so you can't rule him out, but I think he's going to find it tough because he's got Maciej Sakovic not too far behind. But yeah, certainly Ian Roskell's contender for victory because he's got a race win, and to win the race in this series you've got to have some skill about you, so don't count out Ian Roskell.
And well, you mentioned the final 2 rounds. They are next Sunday, and that is at Donington on the national circuit, so which always produces exciting racing. And we had that incredible end to the season last season, which there is a video offline, but yeah, it does produce some classic racing, does that track. But first the drivers have to get through this week.
Yeah, 20 minutes around Road Atlanta is probably easier on paper than the actual doing, especially when you've got such a big grid. 29 cars will take the start of this one, and it should be a very interesting race. I think there's a couple of drivers in that top 10 who potentially could get up there. Neil Bamber, we've seen him in and around the top 10 this season. He's got a decent starting position. I think it's like 7th or 8th, so it's not out of it completely. And then it's going to be interesting to see how the likes of Gosling, Pete Harrod, Michael Hall, how they can get through the field. We've seen that Michael Hall in race 2 has been a bit of a nemesis for him this season. He's not had the best of races in race 2. We'll be hoping that this is a good race 2 for him, because that's where he struggled mostly. Race 1, we've seen him in quite a few races, but it seems to be in his second race where he struggles the most. Yeah,
you would say the consistency in that second race is really his downfall in this, his assault on the championship, that he hoped to start so well with that win at the first race. But yeah, the drivers now getting ready to line up on the grid, so we'll just take you through that grid. Ian Roskell on pole position, Michael Jones in second, Dave Crozier and Stuart Atkinson on the second row, Trevor Blackburn and Neil Rocks on the third row, Neil Bamber and Ben Warburton the fourth row, Sim Reed, James Leggett in the fifth row, Max Wright 11th and Magic Sakovic in 12th. Max Wright we've seen have a few good second races, so he's starting in 11th. Jim Flanagan, Alex Bristow 13th, 14th, Alex Everett, Clinton Bell 15th, 16th, Atkins 17th with Roy Verkey 18th, and we're all set now for the start of this race. Another 20 minutes here at Road Atlanta. The drivers, the revs rise, they're all waiting for the green lights go out, and away we go for yet another race here, and it's a good start from the front row for Ian Roskell. Michael Jones also making a good start, still behind Ian in towards turn one. We'll get it sideways as Michael Jones into the barrier with one of the Team Mad cars. And well, unfortunately for them, they got involved there with an incident. But so far, everybody seems to be behaving. Although one of the power slides. Oh, and it's all getting a bit tight and messy through the first section of the track there. Who was it that...
Roy Verkey's been clipped as well. Michael Jones involved. Massive crash going down the S's. That is a humongous crash. Cars rolling all over. There's a CQR car in that one as well. Michael Hall, yeah, we just spoke about race 2 for him, and out comes the safety car.
Well, it was the only thing they could do there is throw the safety car, because the track was completely blocked at parts. So
yeah, one of the eye glazing car, Ben Gregory, involved, and I think I just saw Adam Gosling going very slowly as well. So well, looks like one of our championship runners may have damage. He's just, actually, I don't think he got quite into that one, but I think Pete Harrod in front of him though has got a bit of damage on that front hand side. Yeah, Pete Harrod's got damage, so drama in our championship contenders. Pete Harrod looks like he's got some quite substantial damage to the front of that Kia Optima.
Well, Michael Hall, just from point of view, he was trying to take advantage of a slow-moving Michael Jones, went diving down the inside, clipped Michael Jones, that sent him into Roy Verkey, and that's ended up costing Michael Hall, because then he gets clipped by Michael Jones into Roy Verkey. One of the Team Mad cars gets involved, and Pete Harrod, as you say, absolutely nowhere to go, into the side of Michael Jones, and hard into that concrete barrier. Michael Jones takes a little bit of a trip up into the sky there, but yeah, that was a big moment, and we were fearing that something like that could happen here, as they carried on more and more incidents as the safety car did get thrown. Right decision there, because there was just too much happening there, blocking the track. Pete Harrod is still running, by the way, but he has a lot of damage on the right hand side of his car. He is struggling to keep that car going pretty straight, although still on track though, so I'm just waiting for all the timing screen to just sort itself out, but it is Ian Roskell who leads the pack behind the safety car. He has got Trevor Blackburn in second place, Neil Rocks in third, with Neil Bamber in fourth place, a man who could be a threat in this race. Fifth is Stuart Atkinson with Sam Reed in sixth, Max Wright in seventh with Ben Warburton in eighth, Magic Sakovic up to ninth place at the start of that race, so good work from him to gain three positions there. 10th, Jim Flanagan. 11th, Philip Johansson. Philip Johansson up from 20th on the grid to 11th, so fantastic work from Philip there. 12th place is Alex Everett, with 13th, John Richardson, 14th, Clinton Bell, and there's quite a few cars are not moving at the moment. Well, we've got Michael Jones and Dave Crozier, they're in the pits getting repairs. Michael Hall has been into the pits, so he's repaired that car. He's going to come up to the back of the field, but he's down in 28th.
Yeah, big loss for Michael Hall. And as far as the championship contenders go, Magic Sakovic starting in the middle of that pack seemed to avoid the accident. Michael Jones just out of exit at turn 1, we saw it happen, and the accident went all the way down to the S's. There must have been at least 8 or 9 cars involved in that during the duration of the accident. I saw Pete Harrod, he went to go down towards pit lane at the end of that last lap, and then he decided not to go into the pit. So it'd be interesting to see if he comes in this time to get repairs.
He would have got a penalty if he'd have gone into the pits that last time. He would have got a back of the line penalty if he'd have gone in on the first safety car.
Here he comes in now, maybe? Yes, he's going to come in now. So Big moment as well as there's another car coming in behind him as
Gregory.
well. Ben Gregory, yeah, he went off at the turn 1. I saw the eye glazing car have contact and go round. So Pete Harrod is in the pits. He'll take a repair from his crew, and I think the lights are out on the safety car as well to add salt into his wounds, I believe. Yeah, lights out on the safety car, so it's going to be coming in this lap, so it's going to be imperative for him to catch up to the back of the train. Pete Howard, Michael Hall has caught up to the back of the train already, so he won't lose any time. I know we saw earlier in the season safety car problems, but it looks like this time we're going to have a safety car, but there's no one left behind. I think the 2 Brands Hatch rounds we saw safety cars play a big part, and I think Pete Howard is at the back of the queue. Yeah, it's just behind Michael Hall, so if Michael Hall has got a penalty, Pete Howard should gain 1 place at least from that.
Yeah, absolutely. But, well, it's all getting set. But you just look at this. There is a big gap there in the field here where they have the safety car. And, there's a couple of big gaps, actually. So, really, they want to be getting everyone as tight up as possible. But anyway, we're getting ready for a restart, and, Ian Roskell, he's just letting the safety car pull away a little bit at the moment. Obviously wants to let that safety car go into the pit so he can get a run out of that final chicane, but everyone just, got cars warming up the tyres. In the front-wheel drive car, I mean, it doesn't really do that much, does it, weaving the tyres?
It might get a little bit of temperature into them, and also you can do little things with the brakes as well, so might be a little bit of an opportunity just to, even if it's a confidence thing for the drivers, just they might feel a little bit more confident. It might just be that, but interesting to see if it has any real effect. I know you can, under safety car in the Pro Series, I know you can do little things with the brakes, so maybe that's something they're trying to do, but we'll see what happens here, because Ian Roskell will have the lead from the pace car. When it comes into the pits, we've got Ian Roskell leading and Team Mad in second with Trevor Blackburn. Neil Bamber's in quite a good position in 4th. He's a driver we've seen near the front of the field this season, and Magic Sakowitz into that top 10. But the best thing to see is what happens with Pete Harrod and Adam Gosling. They're both quite a way down. Gosling 20th, and Pete Harrod has taken that pit stop, so he's down even further. But the race is about to get underway here, round 18 at Road Atlanta.
Ian Roskell gets on the throttle and out of that final chicane, round the final corner they go. The green flag will be out. We've only got 13 minutes left in this race now, so a shorter race. It's really a sprint race now, and already this front 6 are making up for it at that restart. As contact behind. Who was that? I heard some banging and pushing going on there, but everyone's still running through, and it's Ian Roskell at the front, but he's under intense pressure from Trevor Black. Trevor, we've not really seen much from him this season. He just runs a little bit wide there, and someone who really runs wide is Neil Rocks. But Neil Bamber not able to get past him at the moment. So Ian will now 7/10 of a second gap, but there goes Neil Bamber. He's going alongside Neil Rocks. He's
slow down.
To get that. Yeah, Neil Rocks slow down. There's another car further back got to slow down as well. I think that's Sam Reed. So 2 cars suffering from cutting the course there slightly, but these front 4 cars now are trying to get a breakaway from Max Wright.
Yeah, a little bit of break. There's a bit of contact further back as well on Neil Rocks, and the problem with these cars with the slowdowns are going to have is, as it was the first full lap when the safety car came out, they don't actually have split times, which is what the penalties dealt with. So on that first lap, it's like having a slowdown, but it's a very, very big disadvantage as well. But at front, as you say, Ian Roskell pulling out a little bit of a gap, and this front 4 are definitely gapping the rest of the field so far. There's a challenge further back into chicane.
Well, I can tell you, there's dust and smoke all over the place. Magic Sakovic, 8th place now in the race. Clinton Bell and John Richardson, Liam Atkins, they're all battling away as well, coming through that final corner. So Clinton Bell, he's challenging Alex Everett, who runs over the grass there really wide on the exit of the final corner. They've got Matt Bunn and Alec Bristow just loitering in the background there, but these guys battling away for position. Neil Bamber getting closer and closer to Trevor Blackburn up at the front, as Trevor once again just runs a little bit wide through that right-hander there, and just seems to be struggling a little bit with his line there, but still keeping within half a second of Ian Roskell, so doing a fantastic job as Trevor.
Ian Roskell really struggled there through turn 5. He had to complete the wrong line, lost him a lot of time. We've had a pit entry as well for Jay Wright, so Jay Wright in trouble on his first lap. But speaking of in trouble, Trevor Blackburn contact there with Neil Bamber. They did very well to avoid disaster there I thought that was going to end a lot worse than it did, but what it has allowed is Roscoe to pull away, but Neil Bamber now into second place.
We have lost, we've got quite a few cars in the pits actually. Neil Rocks, Perry Warburton, I don't think he's going to be moving any longer. Christopher Sherburn and Jay Wright in the pits, as you said, with Jay Wright, but down the outside, so Stuart Atkinson, but Trevor Blackburn not going to give up that position just yet. He can sniff a podium, he runs wide over the grass there, but is able to carry on in that third place, but is under intense pressure there from Stuart Atkinson, and that's allowing Ian Roskell and Neil Bamber to make the break.
And also further back, Magic Sakovic up into 6th place already, about to take 5th down the inside for Max Wright. So Magic into the top 5, and as you say, in front, although Max Wright is maybe going to try and put an attack, but Magic Sakovic pulls clear. And in front, there's all sorts of going on there. There's cars going off wide.
Trevor Blackburn off.
Trevor Blackburn
Neil Bamber.
off.
Oh, no, it's not Neil Bamber, it's another one of the teammates.
Sherburn.
It's Sherburn.
Oh, we're door banging there between the Team Mad car and Stuart Atkinson, I think, there. So, all going off here at Road Atlanta. We've got on our 6th lap, and Magic Sakovic now alongside Trevor Blackburn.
Yes, so Sakovic going down the inside towards this turn 6 corner here. He's got that inside line, and surely he'll be able to take that place. He's going to have a tight entry into turn 7, which will compromise his exit there onto the straight, which will count against him all the way down the straight. But if he can get that slipstream from Stuart Atkinson in front of him, he'll be able to pull clear. But Max Wright, he's not giving up now, he's battling away. Oh, Trevor Blackburn's getting feisty with one of the Warburtons. That's Ben Warburton. There's Philip Johansson at the back of these lots, so Philip Johansson doing a fantastic job to be able to pull through. Magic Sakovic 3 wide. Oh, and there's contact. Max Wright into the side of Sakovic, the guy who was leading the championship before this round of races today, and well, that's a disaster for Magic, dropping down the timing screens. And well, the big winners out of that is Stuart Atkinson and the rest of those groupers. Philip Johansson.
Oh, contact for Burke hard into the pit wall there, and there's another car hit him as well. That is absolutely devastating incident now on the front straight. Roy Verke involved, and there was a car which we collected as well. That is a huge incident, unfortunately, there. I've looked back and see who that Neil Rocks. So Neil Rocks' day gets even worse, but Magic Sakovic has lost out to Adam Gosling, but crucially, he's ahead of Pete Harrod, who at the beginning of this race was 6 points ahead of him in the championship. So, as we say in the BSR Club Series, anything can happen, and it is actually happening here at Road Atlanta. It's hard to keep track of what's going on here, but that really was a bit stupid going into chicane. He went 3 wide there, and Magic Sakovic made the lunge down the inside. Not sure if he really had to do it, but he did, and he ended up being a victim of Max Wright, who very late on the brakes hit him, and unfortunately it's cost him a lot.
So, well, it's in Ross front, 1.7 seconds ahead of Neil Bamber, who is 5.6 seconds ahead of this absolute train of cars. Stuart Atkinson, Trevor Blackburn side by side with Stuart Atkinson. He's got the inside line. They're going to go 3 wide again. No, they're not. Ben Warburton decides against it, and quite right he did to do that, as well as through the chicane they go. Trevor Blackburn up to 3rd place. Stuart Atkinson holding on to that 4th place at the moment. And here comes Philip Johansson down the inside of Warburton into the final corner. Can he make that move stick? The answer is yes. He'll just slot it in front of him, although they're still side by side going into turn 1. But Philip Johansson has the inside line there. He'll be through, and so does Jim Flanagan. Jim Flanagan coming from nowhere to suddenly come through the gap there. Liam Atkins behind them as well.
Oh, car into the wall. A CQR car across the track as well. That's another humongous accident. And that will be the car of, I believe, Matthew Bunn, who's had a horrific accident. Yeah, it is Matthew Bunn. So another big accident for it's one of the CQR drivers.
Matt Bunn, it's gone from bad to worse for him. He went off. He was collected by the 33 car. Who's that? Is that John Richardson that collected him then, the 33 car?
Yes, that is John Richardson, the 33 for ARF Racing. He was 5th in the championship and a very, very outside chance, but you got to think that's gone now.
So down we go down the straight again. It's still absolutely neck and neck. Trevor Blackburn is ahead of this group, but Philip Johansson now making the move on Stuart Act. He's trying to make the places up. Here is Philip. He missed last week, of course, back, and he's trying to make his mark known down into that chicane where we had that 3 wide instant. But Johansson round the outside. Fantastic work. We've seen that work done. And Jim Flanagan down the inside of Stuart as well, and he's going to take that place as well. So Jim Flanagan, the ultimate opportunist, now up into 5th place.
Yeah, Jim Flanagan having one of his better performances this season, and there's more smoke in the final corner and a car off into the wall.
Who was that? I was I was just grabbing a drink of water. Who was that went off there?
Try and find out for you, Paul. It looks like it's the car of who is that? Alex Everett, I think you'll find it was. I'll have a look back and see what's happened there.
Well, Alex Everett there in the wars. Well, he's been doing well so far championship since he joined the league. But
he's had a bit of an accident. I think with John Richardson and Andrew Woodhouse, they've double teamed him a little bit there, and he's gone right off into the gravel.
Yes, absolutely. So a big incident there for him, but he's able to carry on there for the time being. Although a little bit of damage on that car, but I can hear more contact going on behind this group, and it is a big group here. And well, Trevor Blackburn at the moment, 3rd place. It's fantastic so far from him, but he's got Philip Johansson, and we've seen the pace that Philip Johansson's got in that car. We've got cars side by side. It's a CQR car, so that must it is. Alex Bristow, and it is, and he's side by side with Clinton Bell heading towards the chicane again, and Alex Bristow late on the brakes, but Clinton Bell is holding it down the inside. Oh, we've got a car cutting
Max
the grass
Wright.
there, Max Wright. So Max Wright losing positions as well. So it's all going on here. Clinton Bell down the inside into the final corner and through on Alex Bristow again. So Alex Bristow not able to hold on to that position for the time being, and there's Magic Sakovic already up to 12th place again.
Oh, great fight back from Magic. This is all the gloves are certainly off in this race. You don't know where to point a camera because so many battles. There's also been quite a bit of contact in this one. Race 1 was quite a timid affair, and race 2, it's like they've decided this. Let's go for it. So it's a fantastic race. And as you say, Magic Sakovic, he was backwards in the gravel a couple of laps ago. Now 12th. He's now ahead of Adam Gosling, who was 14th. And Pete Harrod currently 16th, so a very spirited drive from Magic Sakovic now puts him in front of both the title contenders.
Johansson is up to 3rd place. We've got Jim Flanagan making a move on his teammate Trevor Blackburn, so Jim Flanagan up to 4th place from 13th on the grid. Fantastic work from him. But Philip Johansson, the big mover in this race, 20th to 3rd, but there is an 8.7 second gap between him 2nd place, and with only 3.5 minutes to go, this race has flown by since the car came out. We've got Liam Atkins now trying to make a move past Trevor Blackburn down the inside towards the chicane. We've got Ben Warburton side by side as well. He's side by side with Stuart Atkinson. Liam Atkins not able to make that move stick for the time being, but Ben Warburton able to make it past Stuart Atkinson now, and Stuart Atkinson under pressure from Clinton Bell.
Yeah, and also just seen Magic Sakovic do a bit of good driving there. He's let Max Wright go past him, and he was going down the inside, and the first time I think I've seen in this race, Sakovic maybe thinking about the championship here because he's ahead of Alex Bristow and Adam Gosling just behind him. Some smoke in front.
Big accident! Big accident! Who was that? It's one of the Team Mad cars, and it's Trevor Blackburn.
Oh no, so Trevor Blackburn
there was
in trouble there.
Contact with Liam Atkins through turn 1. Liam Atkins bounced over the curb. That's unsettled his car and pushed him into Trevor Blackburn. Trevor Blackburn lost control of his car, and then he's collected Ben Warburton, another person who has no luck in this championship at all, and well, he is out of the race along with Trevor Blackburn.
Yeah, this race is quickly turning into a race of attrition at the moment because it seems that left, right, centre there's something going on, unfortunately, and yeah, it's survival of the fittest at the moment. But at the front, the gap between Liam Roscoe and Neil Bamber seems to be creeping down ever so slightly. It was 1.5 seconds at a line, but I can tell you it's a lot less than that now as they come down towards the final corner.
We've got Stuart Atkinson side by side with a very battered Clinton Bell in his Club 73 car. Down the inside goes Clinton. Will he be able to make that move stick? Stuart Atkinson trying to hold it through the outside of that first, got the inside for the second, and he's able to hold on to position for the time being. Alex Bristow is looking busy behind him in a rather suspiciously clean looking CQR car. That's surely not right there. Alex Bristow now able to go around the outside of Stuart Atkinson, and he's looking to the inside of Clinton Bell. Alex Bristow, he's wanted to make some moves now, and well, Michael Hall, he's going past Stuart Atkinson, although getting just caught up behind one of the Gonbrook racing cars, but Stuart Atkinson letting Hall through, and there's Magic Sakovic right behind Atkinson in his contact. Sakovic just getting into the back of Atkinson, and Atkinson's getting freight trained here.
Yeah, and pushing Magic Sakovic a bit wide onto the grass, and now he's going to be in the middle of it. He stays over to one side there. It's more smart driving. He's got Adam Gosling and Pete Harrod behind him, so our 3 championship contenders are now bumper to bumper. And yeah, Michael Hall, it's worth noting, at the start, when the safety car came in, he was actually at the back of the train, just 1 car behind him, so a colossal fight back for Michael Hall. But these 3 championship rivals together, and Gosling round the outside of Magic Sagovic, so a move made there by Adam Gosling, and Pete Harrod, who led this championship by 6 points coming into this round now, can sense that he's got a chance after seeing that. He's now right on the bumper in the slipstream of the fair race driver.
Sakovic's car is obviously suffering with some damage there. He's struggling down the straight to keep up with him, and Pete Harrod is going to look to the inside through the kink there, but he's on the outside going into the chicane, but he's got superior top speed, so Sakovic really struggling with that car now. The eye-glazing car of Ben Gregory, he's going through Sakovic. I think he may be thinking about bringing it into the pits because he is struggling there. Now he's carrying on. We're on to the final lap now, and Ian Roskell and Neil Bamber, they're absolutely hammer and tongs together, just half a second between them. Ian Roskell trying to hold on for his 2nd win of the season, but Neil Bamber, he can sniff something. He's trying to get a win for himself.
Yeah, and I think Neil Bamber's in the best position. He's getting him ever closer. If he just sticks behind Roskell now, he's going to have the advantage in the slipstream, but going to try and get around the outside, but he slots in behind Ian Roskell. And we say Ian Roskell looking for a 2nd reign. He's gone very wide though, and that's going to give all the momentum and the drive to Neil Bamber. And as they come down the back straight for the final time, you've got to say that Neil Bamber will be the favourite. He's going to catch that slipstream, and now he's going to go down to the outside. We'll see him move out, just come under the bridge now. And out he goes. So Neil Bamber on the outside pulls out, and he's going to try and take this victory in the final corners.
Neil Bamber holding it on the outside. We've seen people being able to hold it round the outside to get the inside for the next part. But Ian Roskell late on the brakes, able to just cut across him there. Hold it, slow him down for the apex. And that's really good defensive driving from Ian Roskell to be late on the brakes there. And he's going to come round the final corner, and he's going to see the checkered flag. And Ian Roskell, for the 2nd time this season, across the line, wins a race in the BSR Kia Club Series ahead of Neil Bamber. And well, we've still got action going on throughout the field, and well, we've got a battle here. Pete Harrod and Adam Gosling side by side with Ben Gregory as well. Ben Gregory going past Adam Gosling across the line there, so he's made up positions there, and it's just action all the way through this field. And well, another breathless race, but well done to Ian Roskell for taking the victory with some clever driving at the end there to hold on to the win ahead of Neil Bamber. Philip Johansson finishing in 3rd place, 9.5 seconds behind the race winner. Jim Flanagan, fantastic result for him to finish in 4th place. Great result for Team Mad there. Liam Atkins in 5th place with Alec Bristow in 6th place. Clinton Bell finished in 7th place in the end. Michael Hall ended up in 8th place. Fantastic comeback drive from him to say that he was involved in that start incident. Tristan Bodis in 9th place. Great result for him, starting 25th on the grid, finishing 9th. Stuart Atkinson just fell down a little bit. Got freight train towards the end there. Finishes in 10th place. Sorry. Max Rice 11th. With Pete Harrod in 12th. Ben Gregory just finishing ahead, as we saw across the line, ahead of Adam Gosling. Magic Sakovic just behind them though, so Pete Harrod getting some more points on Magic there. John Richardson finished in 16th with James Lay at 17th. Andrew Woodhouse, he manages to finish the race. He was in 18th place with Jay Wright a lap down in 19th. Chris Sherburn a lap down in 20th. Dave Crozier, the last of the runners it seems, in 21st place, because the rest, Trevor Blackburn, Roy Verke, Ben Warburton, Sam Reed, Alex Everett, Matt Bunn, Michael Jones, Neil Rocks and Perry Warburton all did not complete that race. Whew, well, that was an exciting race to say the least there, Dan.
Yeah, and it leaves a championship wide open going into Donington next week. It's going to be an absolutely thrilling climax to the season, with Gosling finishing down in 14th, Sakovic 15th, and Pete Harrod 12th. So not many points have been taken from them as well. So I think there'll be less than 50 points separating those 3 by the time we get to Donington next week. And that's going to produce some fantastic racing. And that race really was. We saw that move by Ian Roskell on the final lap, and that corner on both races saw a difference, because that was where Pete Harrod made his move on Michael Hall in race 1, and Ian Roskell a little bit of fantastic defending driving there to take his 2nd victory of the season. We see some fantastic racing out there, but that really turned into a race of attrition, unfortunately. Those who could avoid the trouble were the ones who came out on top. Michael Hall, a fantastic drive from him. He was at the back of the safety car train when it came in. He's finished in 8th place, and Jim Flanagan, his best result of the season, a 4th, and Team Mad would be delighted with that one, as they've had a really tough season. But also a big mention for Philip Johansson, starting 20th and finishing 3rd. So that is 2 really good finishes from Philip, who had a week out last week, but shows he's not very rusty at all. 2 great finishes, and really I can't wait for Donington next week. I think that is going to be a perfect end to what has been a fantastically exciting season of Kia Club Racing.
Well, Dan, he's your former teammate, so why don't you take it away to have a chat with Jim Flanagan?
Yeah, here with Jim Flanagan. And Jim, a 4th place finish there. That is the best result of the season. How'd that feel?
It's actually nice to finish 2 races for a change.
Yeah, that race seemed to be quite eventful for you. Obviously, you started the race down in 13th, got up to 4th, and it seemed like there were a lot of fierce battles, a lot of things going on. How did you get through it all?
Philip was faster than me, and I tried to chase him all the way down there, but it was just nudge and push and arms out wide.
So also, I think this is the best finish for Team Mad, a 4th place, and going into Donington Park next weekend, it's going to be a good end to the season. What are you feeling about Donington? Is it a circuit you enjoy?
Yeah, I've raced there in the Pro Series, so it's always a good circuit. I think next year we're getting sponsored by Target.
Yeah. So, anyone you'd like to thank on the broadcast today, Jim?
Yeah, just the rest of the team bad guys, because we come up every week, and every week if there's bad luck, we seem to find it.
Well done, Jim. That's Jim Flanagan finishing 4th place, and 2 finishes for him, which is very rare, so very well done.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, fantastic result there from Jim. Just quickly to update everyone, top 5 drivers in the championship. Pete Harrod leading the championship on 1,086 points. Magic Sakovic 51 points behind on 10,035. Adam Gosling on 10,035 as well, so he's 51 points behind as well. Michael Hall, he's 109 points off of Pete Harrod, and John Richardson 150 points behind. All 5 of those drivers can still win this championship. We're going to have a fantastic end to the season. Well, you know, it's hard to call this one because, as we've seen today, anything in this Kia Club Series, and once again, it's happened again.
Yeah, you just can't predict what's going to happen at Donington Park, and I think it's going to be one of these meetings that is remembered for a long time in BSR Club Series memory. We've seen some great racing this season, and it's just providing some fantastic racing all through the field. It's not just at the front. You're in the middle and the back of the pack, they're still fighting it out really hard and fiercely, and it's going to be good to see what happens between Harrod, Sakovic, Gosling and Hall next weekend. I think they're really the 4 in contention. John Richardson 156 back. I think that's a bit far for him to come back, and it's going to be really good watching, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how things pan out next weekend at Donington. It's a track which overtaking, depending how you do it, it's not one where they've got easy overtaking. You've got to be brave at Donington, especially down to the crane of curves into Old Hairpin. That move does take a lot of minerals, so be interesting to see what happens with what these 3 drivers at the top of the championship do, because it's not like there's a couple of them, there's 3 of them, so they've got to have one eye on what the others are doing, and I think it's going to be a fantastic race to commentate on, or 2 races, and I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know about you, Paul, but I think this really could be the spectacle this season deserves.
Well, I mean, you just have to. It's going to be down to that second race for sure. I mean, it's important for the drivers to be able to get a good result in that first race, but that second race, you can see how much things can ebb and flow today in that race, and the championship again. It's going to be wide open. It's going to be to the end. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be brilliant, Dan.
Yeah, I also wonder if there's going to be any tactics played out where drivers maybe sacrifice race 1 to try and get a better result in race 2. But as we've seen with Magic Sakovic, he didn't intentionally sacrifice race 1, but he didn't have the best of qualifying sessions, which put him in the back at race 1. He got through to mid-pack, but it didn't really do him any favours getting caught up in an incident with Max Wright early on when he did push through the car, pack, shall I say. So not maybe it's going to be interesting to see if any drivers do roll the dice a little bit, but it's so unpredictable. I don't think that'd be a wise move.
Well, one of the things that will come into play, as you say, with teammates, CQR, they've got 2 teammates who are pretty much up there towards the front each week, so they could do a real good number to hold back Michael Hall's championship rivals. But fail race, Liam Atkins could do his teammate a favour as well, and Adam Gosling, he's a bit of an odd one out there. He's not got any teammates. He's a privateer, so he's going to do it all on his own. And John Richardson, his teammate Charlie Richardson, hasn't really been of the same pace as him. So it's going to be tough for those guys to maybe take points away from. Well, I've got to say no teammates. Pete Harrod as well, no teammates as well. So Fail Race and TQR could be able to help their championship contenders to get the result.
Oh, exactly. That's where their team game comes into play. But these privateers, they're not. I reckon they might try and form some alliances, maybe just for this one-off race meeting. It's always good to have friends in the series, obviously, when you need it. So, be interesting to see as the race progresses if any of the privateers do manage to find some friends along the way. You see it in NASCAR quite often, where drivers will help each other, not necessarily on the same team, but it's sort of different concept, of course. But it's something that could happen, is that these drivers could pair up with a team maybe, or just some other drivers who are privateers, and just open this championship up a little bit more. We'll see what happens, but it's not out of the question that these privateers maybe could find some tango buddies as such to play with next week, shall we say?
Well, that was absolutely thrilling. Don't forget, you can see them final two races in the BSR Kia Club Series here live on Apex Racing TV next Sunday at 9 PM GMT. But what an exciting finish to this championship we've got ahead of us. Thanks once again to Dan Blake for joining me on commentary, and Samuli Kumo on the cameras as well. I've been Paul Smith. This has been the BSR Kia Club Series in association with Club 73 Karting and XL Designs. We'll see you again next week for the finale of the Kia Club Series. Take care, good night.